little late, better than never. We finally got some dry dirt. You can see the dust on top anyway. We're gonna try to get this planted this weekend. The 26th day of May. It's not late by any means. You just got to work with what you got to work with. We had our soil test back. Organic matter is high, phosphorus is high, potassium is right at optimal. So we have to have, for corn and soybeans, we needed about 186 pounds of nitrogen per acre and 60 pounds of phosphorus and 100 pounds, 60 pounds of potassium and 100 pounds of phosphorus. So that's not a whole lot. I just see that as the soil is getting better, and it has lime need to pH 6.5, no lime required. So this year we got by without liming it. That saves some expense. So we're going to try to have this wrapped up by Monday morning, hopefully Sunday. If we don't get any rain between now and then. It's warmed up really not high. It's about 80 degrees. I'm going to show you the result of this burn down. Now you can see how the Roundup did its job. It'll be actually 14 days since we sprayed that. I'll swing this camera around. You see that brown grass? That day we sprayed it was bright green, waving in the breeze. So it burned it down, and that's what we wanted to get they got a head start on us. Now I could go ahead with my planter and plant my corn. It's a no-till planter, and I could just plant through this. The only problem is this ground has been rained on, but that 8.5 inches of rain, and the top is packed down so hard that I don't know if I'd get enough down pressure on my planter. So therefore I'm going to till it up some and knock out some more of these weeds. But modern day farmer would go ahead and plant through this because he'd have enough weight on his planter and he could go through, and that's the advantage of a Roundup Ready. That's the part of the Roundup Ready. It's ready. All you have to do is plant through this. But you and I, as food plotters, we don't have that extravagant of equipment. So to loosen this top up, to make sure my planter gets in there, and I want to incorporate the fertilizer. I don't have a dry box fertilizer on my planters either, so I have to broadcast it on. And to do that, I want to broadcast it on and then incorporate the fertilizer into the soil. So you're going to have an extra step in tillage time. Other than that, like I say, if you were running with the modern day equipment, this would be perfect to plant right through. You'd have the fertilizer, liquid fertilizer on board. You'd already had your anhydrous knifed in, and you'd be ready to rock and roll. But that's a different world, and we live in what we have to do with what we got. And so without any further to do, I'm going to get this fertilizer getting spread on. Now I'm just going to, well, I'm going to plant the corn in this side this year. Last year we planted it over there and out front. This year I'm going to plant it in this area. So that's just where I'm going to put the heavy dose of nitrogen, because I didn't have ammonia knifed in. So I'll go with, like I said, the granular urea and use that as my nitrogen source. So without any further ado, I'm burning daylight, and I don't know how much dry weather we have. These clouds come in and the clouds go. So let's get to putting the fertilizer on, and enough of my fertilizer. Yeah, I want to draw something to your attention. I want to make this clear. There's a lot of things I don't know about things in life, and you find out something new every day. And I found out, you know, a YouTube subscriber told me last year when I was putting that fertilizer on that I was jeopardizing my health by breathing that dust and stuff, and he was right. And you should, in the instructions of that, you should wear a headset, mask, and glasses, and long sleeve shirts. to keep that dust directly off of you. And for years I've just been applying it, you know, willy-nilly. But like I said, I just want to fess up, and I was wrong. And I'm glad that gentleman pointed that out to me. And like I said, if I'd have read the manual on the spreader, which most men don't, and you just plunger on. So I'm not above you, and I'm learning right along with you. And I learned something today I'll share later that I didn't know, and a lot of farmers didn't know either. I was advised too. A good friend of mine that turned 75 years old today, Grant Poindexter, he knew it, and he said that was the only thing he didn't know from 67 to 75. So I guess he said he didn't learn anything after that. So I learned what he knows, so I know as much as he does now at 75. But I didn't know that, and I called him, and he said, "Yeah, I already knew that," and that was pretty amazing. And I'll address that issue, but goggles, respirator, that dust, I've always wondered about that. And I've got some real good whiffs of that, putting that on before, and it's like, wow, too late now. So try to wear proper preventative clothing as you do this. Another tip for you. When you're dumping that in, if you can stand upwind, the wind will blow the dust away from you also. Stand downwind, it's going to blow it right in your face. So let's get the foot and fertilizer on. Well, here I want to show you some real lifetime experiences in food plotting. Full throttle. Okay. We got to get this tractor running. It'll run, throttle linkage come off. That's something that you wouldn't, it's not preventative maintenance, it's just something that happened. And that's why I'm so down hard and so disenchanted with these people that run around with bleached teeth, groomed goatees, blonde hair, kill a big deer over a mineral lick site or a bait site, and then proclaim themselves as pro staff. Well, for you food plotters that are out here trying to do it, enhance your habitat, you're going to run into these diversities. These are real-time things. Now, chances are your pro staff celebrity is going to say, "Your tractor's broke," and they'll walk off. You got to get it running. So I'm glad to have these things happen so I can share with you the diversity. When people think, "Ah, you got a food plot," they don't have a clue how much work goes into that, and it pays nothing back other than your enjoyment and your reward of enhancing the habitat. Nothing pro staff about it. You just got to, okay, out in this field, diversity dealt you a joker. So you've got to get this joker fixed and get this tractor back up and running. So let's get at it. When this does happen to you, you better have enough Yankee ingenuity to know how you're going to get your machine running. Now, there's nothing preventative about this. This is just the throttle mechanism is coming disconnected. And you got to get it going. This tractor's in top-notch shape. except for it's mechanical. And anything mechanical can break down at any given time. People tell me how valued of operators they are and all this and what their knowledge is. Sitting on the machine is one thing. Getting the machine running is a whole different story. Now I hope this is a quick fix. I have no idea what we're going to run into. I know the linkage come off. Okay. Easy fix. I'll show you what happened. Thank God it was easy. This rod has come disconnected off of that, popped off of there. That fitting could be a little loose. You as a food plotter will learn a lot about yourself, how prepared you are in life, how mechanical you are, how well you can deal with diversity. So, it's more to food plotting, like I said, than some smiley face, goatee wearing self-proclaimed celebrity on a package. You are as good as they are, if not better. You can get your machine up and running, you can get it done, they walk away and call 911. We don't have that option. Let's get her done. Yeah, this little segment right here is for my good friend Jan over in South Africa. He makes things run. Let's see what we got here. There you go, Jan. Pour it back up and running. Alright, we got the fertilizer on. We're going to concentrate where we're going to plant the corn. I still have a lot of time to plant beans. I want to get this area that I'm going to do the corn in, disc it up, tilled up. Like I said, it's ground, it's really hard. I can tell by walking on it. You can't have that much compaction from the rain without it getting hard. So let's get the disc in. You've seen the dust flying. That's the first time the dust has probably been flying. That's why it's so critical to get what I got to get done in this short time frame. So let's get it on. Remember this afternoon I told you I learned something new, and it puzzled me, but I guess that's the way they measure it. I never ever thought about it. Didn't make any sense to me. About this bag of seed, and the net weight is 43 pounds. And this was the seed I bought last year, and the net weight on this is 60 pounds. And if you can compare the bags, they're close, but this 60-pound bag is bigger. But what I found out today, it wasn't the pounds that was in this bag. And on this bag, it does specify 80,000 kernels. Well, I looked on this bag, I looked all over, and I never could find where it said 80,000 kernels. But that's what the agronomist at the co-op said, that they sell corn now at 80,000 per bag, not per weight. Now when I was interested, because I thought, well, this corn must be smaller. Well, this was, I'll move up here a little closer. This was the 43, this hand here was the 43 pounds at 80,000 seed in that bag. And this seed here was 60 pounds with 80,000 seed count. And if you look at those real close, they're the same size. So there must, if this was 60 pounds, I assume there must have been more moisture in this corn. Because this specifies 80,000 pounds. So you never stop learning in the field, and that really threw me. But a good friend of mine, Grant Poindexter's 75th birthday today, that's what I told you, he said that was something he knew that I didn't, and he learned it after 67. So it's really weird. And I was looking for smaller seed. I thought these seed would be real small, but no, they're the same size. So you never stop learning when you're doing something different. And the agronomist said, yeah, the older farmers have a problem with that. He said a lot of them will still go with the more pounds in the bag, and they have a problem. You know, there's from 43, that's 17 pounds difference. But I guess the seed count's the same, so it must be the moisture content. So that's something to learn. I know I'm burning daylight and wasting time, but this is an education station or channel, and I try to help people understand technology because I need it sometimes. I'm not like I showed you about the corn, but I want to show you something. You see where that says Roundup Ready soybeans? Okay, now I want to take you up here and show you what that means in the field. Now I want to take you out here in the field and show you what that Roundup Ready soybean actually means. Those are soybeans right there, left over from last year. Now, everything that's green on here is a soybean. If I elected to, that's what when you go in and you put your Roundup on, you burns down your weeds, and then your beans emerge. Okay, as you see it a little bit over here. Now these beans were from last year's beans. You know, they went to seed, but you see all the residue that's dead and everything. It would not kill the soybeans as they germinated. It kills the weeds. Okay, people are going to say, well, why do I fart around with it? Well, I'm having good luck doing what I'm doing by broadcasting them on. And I don't have fertilizer boxes on my seeder. So the only way I can get the fertilizer into the soil is by broadcasting it on and disking it in. But as you walk down through here, that's a soybean right there. Brand new soybean. That's a Roundup Ready soybean. It will not succumb to Roundup. Now, when you spray my sprayer, I missed a few weeds, but for 99% of them are dead. Like I say, everything you see green in there is soybeans. That's the definition of Roundup Ready. That means you spray it with Roundup, your field with Roundup, and then if you have the right seeder, you can planter, you can go in and apply your fertilizer and your seed at the same time, and you're ahead of the weeds. I wanted to share that with you because I know not all of you are farmers, self included, but that's the definition, pure and simple. Corn would do the same thing. If you had leftover corn, it would come up in the field also. But that's your beans germinating from last year's leftover seed in that field. And that's what's green out there. So, just a little define what Roundup Ready actually means. Well, it's Saturday morning. We got a good chance of thunderstorms here. Probably before noon, and it's 6 o'clock right now. So, we got the field worked up. And time to plant. There's some of that dirt. Just really good working dirt. So as you can see, it's foggy out. So we're going to try to get this planted before the rain, which shouldn't be too hard. But it's always something, always something. Well, here we go, 2017 corn crop. the van. 11 o'clock. We got some at 12:30. It's raining out. That's what it looks like. There you go. Alongside the highway. Never-ending rain. You got the corn planted, then get the beans. I said you gotta work with Mother Nature. If I would have tried to force those beans, it wouldn't work. So, just have to wait for it to get drier again. Like I said, those geese on that pond over there in that field sort of sum up this year in Iowa.